Welcome back again, everyone. Thank you very much because you are all seated here, arranged and organized. So now let's not spare any time more. We will start with the second part of the competition. Best of luck, everyone.
Thank you.
Now, I would like to invite the team leaders of both the teams again to introduce their team members with the audience and the honorable judges. The team spirited speakers, please.
Not for the profit, but for the people, where every child learns under the same steeple. That's the power of public school, equal, inclusive, and beautifully cool. Judicious panel of judges, honorable moderator, fellow debaters, and the respected audience, Assalamu alaikum. In this stage of debate arranged by Globalitmedia Language Center and under the guidance of our honorable managing director, Mr. Zaber Hossain sir, and our honorable teacher, Mr. Shawon sir, we are the team, the spirited speakers. We are a team united by our passion for critical thinking and persuasive communication. True to our name, we bring energy, clarity, and conviction to every argument we present. We believe that debate is not just about proving a point, rather it's about exploring perspectives, challenging assumptions, along with speaking with a purpose. Now let me introduce you to my teammates. This is Abdullah-Al-Jobair in front of you, the leader of this team. And here is Rehena, my co-team leader. And here is our executive member, Sara. And here are our general members, Hossain, Sumaya, and Hasan and Shawon will be supporting us shortly. The motion decided for today is whether public or private schools are better. And we as a team stand for public schools as they are inclusive, provide equal access, and they make sure that no child is deprived of the education that they deserve. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Team Vanguard.
Good morning, my respected judges, moderators, and our managing director and our mentor. Good morning. Education is not about how many students fill a classroom. It's about how many students truly learn. Private schools provide better resources, individual attention, rules and regulation that creates an environment where education is not just a chance, but it's a journey. That is why me and my team standing here firmly to prove that private schools are better than public schools. Better than public school. My name is Fatima Bithi from Sabbir Laboratory School and College and the team leader of Vanguard Voices. As you can see, I'm here with my entire team today. Here beside me sitting here is my co-team leader, Hasan, who is from Sabbir Laboratory School. Here is my another executive member who is from Nabil Khan and who is from Zaber Cantonment. Here is my another member, Sinha, who is from Radio Quality School. My another general member who is Nine and who is from Saber School. Another fellow teammate of mine, Rahman, who is from Saber Laboratory School and College. School and College. My respected judges, you may have, I guess if the mic has a problem. Okay, you can do it here. So, my respected judges, you may all have a question in your mind of what does my teammate Vanguard Voices mean. But Vanguard is a word which came from a French origin. It signifies a team which stands on the front line facing everyone fearlessly. We are the trailblazers of echo that cannot be denied. But courage means the power of expression and voices means the power of word. And today we are here to lead the debate forward. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, both teams. Now we will start with the opening speech. I would like to call Raihan Kobir, Tamim Hossain, and Sabia Bahar Badhun from the team, the spirited speakers, for their opening speech. You may start.
Education is not for money. It's for every child's right. Public school make future shiny or bright. Yes, moderator. Yes, my judges. Public school teaches discipline, equality, and top-notch knowledge and so many things. Assalamu alaikum, honorable moderator, respected judges, and fellow debaters. Today I rise to prove that public schools are far better than private schools, and I will continue to prove that through my argument. So what is public school? A public school is a government-founded educational institution that provides free or very low-cost education. It is managed under government rules and curriculum. Source www.qda.com. account. Let me bring with a simple truth. Education is not a business. It is a right. Private school may sell education as a product, but public schools serve it to provide it as a service to humanity. There are many reasons why public schools are far better than private schools. Among them, the notable ones are affordability, equal opportunity, accessibility and coordination, qualified trained teachers, nation builder, character development, statistics data, and so on. Let's look at the news. According to Bangladesh Bureau of Statistics 2022, 78% of education or students depend on public school because their parents can attend their private school. Private school may serve the wealthy, private school creating inequality. But education should not be privilege for the few, it is for all right. And we think, and this will make possible public school. So my dear opponent, you will say that 78% people that education is not for them because they are poor, they don't have the ability to pay the fees, and education is only for the rich kids. Never, right? Public will teach us 5 by 5, both rich and poor learn equality is the lesson public school earn. My dear opponent, education is the backbone of a nation, and teachers are the real architects who shape and strengthen that backbone. Teachers in public school are government certified and regularly trained. On the other hand, many private schools hire unqualified teachers for saving just their money. So this means public school students learn better from educators. So my dear opponent, if you think that and you know that education comes from qualified, certified, and trained teachers, not from how beautiful this building is. And there is a proverb in Bengali quoted by the feedback, that means you can polish outside, but never inside. So therefore, I strongly say that public school is not just better, they are important, they are essential, they are important for our future of truly educated society. Thank you. Now, Jonathan will continue our speech.
Thank you, my coaching leader, honorable moderator, judicious panel judges, fellow debaters, and respected audience. Assalamu alaikum. The first speaker of my team has demonstrated topics: public schools definition, foundation, their impact on students, and society and history of public education. Now I shall describe the accessibility curriculum of public schools and how to show its role in society and how it helps in real life preparation of the students in Bangladesh. Currently, Bangladesh has 65,000 government primary schools, serving approximately 11 million students. These schools provide affordable education with nominal fees, often ranging from 8 taka to 20 taka per month. Besides, public schools are the only option for rural areas where private schools are scarce and non-existent. By making education accessible, Bangladesh progressing universal education and Bangladesh progressing vocational education and progressing their private. Most of the public schools have discipline and most of the public schools have discipline and time management. They teach us about how to use our time and how to be disciplined. Now, in the contrary, toward more accessible, public schools are not just participants; they are the leaders. They open doors for millions of children and learn and prepare students for the future. World. And public schools let us not underestimate the contrary of worn-out bench and a dedicated government teacher who. Thank you. That's all. Now my executive member will continue the explanation.
Assalamualaikum, honorable judges and esteemed moderator. My school teammates have already highlighted several powerful points in favor of public schools. Now, I will take it a step further. Public schools are not an alternative, they are necessity. background. Education is a socio-economic background. Unlike private schools, which often turn education into a business, private schools often demand exorbitant fees which only the privileged can afford. When education is treated as a product sold at a high price, millions of talented children are left behind. However, public schools ensure that no child is denied from the light of knowledge simply because their parents cannot afford. Diversity is another key point of public schools. The public schools bring students together from various culture and social economical backgrounds. Preparing them for the future by teaching leadership, teamwork. On the other hand, private schools often attract students from similar backgrounds, isolating them from the realities of the society. Who will be more prepared for the future world? The one who has seen diversity and learned from it, or the one who has lived in a bubble of luxury? And the answer is obvious. Even study shows that students from private schools are 30% more likely to participate in social activities and civil services. Let me remind you, education is not meant to be a luxury item displayed only by the rich.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, I'd like to call Fatima Bithi Ryan, Mahmud, Khaliduzzaman Sinha, and Saima Rahman to carry on with their opening speech.
Thanks to my fellow teammate Fatima Bithi for giving me this opportunity. Standing here, I not just hear my own voice, but the voice of endless students who believe in private schools. So respected judges, honorable teachers, and my dedicated opponents. Today we are not here to play with words, but to face the reality. And the reality is crystal clear. Private schools are building the future, meanwhile public schools in Bangladesh are breaking it apart. Private schools are the garden where the flower of tomorrow bloom. Why do I say this? Because they nurture students not as numbers, but as an individual with potential. Imagine a classroom where every student gets individual attention, where learning feels like an adventure, not a burden. Yes, judges, I'm talking about the private schools which inspire students' creativity, nurture disciplines, and opens the door to endless opportunities. Smaller classrooms means every child name is known, every witness is polished. A teacher who knows the child builds the man of tomorrow. Across Bangladesh and around the world, parents choose private schools because they see the difference. Manners, behaviors, communication, skill, and leadership. They are not just exam passes, they are confident human beings ready for the global stage. That's why the graduation rate of private institutions constantly achieve higher results in national and international examination. On the other side, few public schools like Borishal Government High School, where 100% of the students failed in the SSC mock exam in 2022. Out of 168 students, not a single one scored above GPA 2.00. Parents blame the absence of the teacher and the weak classes. So that's why me and my entire team believe that it's not education. It's all about distraction. As the saying goes that a house built on sand will collapse on its first rain. And our public schools are built on sand. Parents trust private schools because they see their growth. Meanwhile, private schools provide modern facilities like debate club, cultural activities, and modern resources. They teach creativity, not just memorization. Logically, when you combine advanced resources, strict discipline, and personal teacher, the outcome is excellent. That's why our professor Abdullah once said that having a child adapted without guidelines is like handing him a ship without compass. And a good proverb goes that a fruit does not lie about the tree it came from. And the fruit of private schooling is education, respectful and successful youth. So, judges, I'm asking you, can a nation ignore the institutions from where the tomorrow's leaders are made? Absolutely not. Nelson Mandela would say that neglect in teaching is the slowest version of violence against the future. So if public schools build a road, then private schools may build a destination. Again, if education is the key to success, then private schools are the master key. Now I would like to adjust my opinion here and I'd like to request my team member Ryan to continue his speech.
Alright, thank you very much. That was a very good opening part. Thank you both the teams as well. Now it's time for the question answer part. I'm again very excited for this part right now. I'd like to first ask the team, the speaker speakers, to carry on with your questions, which our Vanguard voice will definitely questions will be asked by Raihan Kabir, Tamim Hossain, and Sabia Bahar Badun one by one. Thank you. You may start.
Education is a right, not a business plan. Public schools serve child, not a rich man. Yes, moderator. Education depends on quality, not in facility. According to World Bank report 2021, more than 80% of educated workforce has come from public school. And not only that, in rural Bangladesh, 90% students depend on public school. So this is the private are almost absent. My dear opponent, public schools are also famous persons, leaders, scientists, and writers like Abraham Lincoln, Mahfuzur, Dr. Muhammad Yunus, Elon Musk, and lots of persons learn from and study from public school. So education is not about money, it's about ability, brain, and it's about getting married. So my dear opponent, as you can see, public school welcome poor, rich, from any background student, but in private school, they allow only wealthy people. So my dear friend, in public school, students learn how to contact with social persons, social people. But in private school, they can't. So my question to you, my dear opponent, if students only study with their background students, and how they contact with their whole society and their whole country.
My opponents have said that the majority of schools, or public schools, I'm going to repeat that again. My opponents have said that the majority of the people goes to public school, but majority never defines its rate that the quality does. And I will repeat with the same consistency. When you believe that the consistency collides with the people, it does not. You mentioned the quality and the rich, but what about the middle class family who often suffer financially for sending their students, for sending their children to private school? Now tell me these middle class families and these hardworking families are chasing prestige? No, they are chasing the trust and quality. Let me show you a report. About a rickshawala who is a really poor man who suffers every day, daily. They are just sending his child to a private school. Why? Because public school is lack of opportunities, lack of resources, and lack of weaknesses. What else can we expect? And you said that the same quality, right? Your question was between the people, can they study together? Yes, private school provides the best quantities for the poor, for the rich, and for the average. They have all the categories in it. And also you mentioned that in the part where private schools are just serving the rich. No, they have scholarships. They have the funds. They are collecting. And what does public schools are doing? They are just collecting funds from the government and corrupting all the systems. They are just lost in the corruption, lost in the facilities, and they're totally dumped in the solution where no one can answer anything. Thank you.
First of all, education is not about middle class, poor, middle class and high class. Education is about everyone. Everyone right have the education. You mentioned that one rickshaw. You can mention lots of rickshaw. So first of all, you see your news. First of all, one only study their son in private school. But what about the most of the rickshaw? Most of the rickshaw study their student in public school? Never, right? They study their school in public school. You have your time. It's my turn now. So you also say quality and philosophy. Bro, let's see on the fact that school-going students in public school, the teachers are really qualified. They are government certified. They are not unqualified teachers. Even that they are unqualified. And secondly, you say the lack of whatever. You say that so I reply that this is not a problem of school. This is a problem of government. Okay? So yeah.
My opponent's action just remind me of a proverb in Bangla Thali Kulshi Bajini. Well, you just shouting out all the streams and all the memorizing stuff. I'm talking free. I agree that you're not agreeing it because you mentioned that I'm qualified. The private school teachers who are qualified, they are qualified in every sentence. The discipline, the manners, and the quality. They describe with the qualities, not with the passion, not with the categories that we always control about ourselves, about our. That's
You may go on with the next question, please.
Respected judges, moderator, and my fellow debaters, Assalamualaikum. I'm here to speak on harsh reality of private schools. During COVID-19, we have seen that most of the private schools were not as strong as they seem. Most of the private schools are dependent on the tuition and tuition fees and the school fees. That means the parents of giving the school fees. That means these schools are dependent on the parents' fees. And when the parents could not pay the fees and some crisis occurs, this school collapses. This school, at the time of COVID-19, most of the private schools have faced closure, teacher layoffs and bankruptcy. And most of the people have lost their jobs at that time, and their children who studying in the private school were the worst sufferers of it. Private schools, instead of helping them or supporting the students, in this case, they are actually increase the tuition fees, and they are also increasing the burden to the already struggling parents. If you look at the public schools, then we see that whatever the crisis is, public school focus to make sure that every student should get the proper knowledge and proper education. And
Come up with the question, please.
so my question to the opponent is, if private schools are superior, then why, when national pandemic comes, private schools shows their weakness way more faster than the public schools?
So my dear opponent, you are saying that public primary school doesn't show any careful items comes in the COVID-19 time, right? But it's totally wrong. Primary school was the only system who did online classes for the students, not public school. Public school didn't need the government by himself from the Bithi, they publish the class online classes, not the public school. Public school, what does they do? They just take the money from kids, from the government, they just do it, they just take the salary, they didn't even give the students any clear information for the study. All the students from the public school just left behind the chair and just be seated and just in their home. They never just did a single study. They even failed the SSC exam. You know that? Do you know that? They failed the SSC exam in the COVID-19 time, and the private school results are top, higher level in the system. And even though during COVID-19, the private school students are given the better position after the SSC, after the agency, every single part, they did the best. Private school students, private school teachers are the qualified. They qualify the teach students with the betterment. They give the students the better teaching methods, careful courage. That all the students in the online classes that you are over here, do you need any help? No. Private school students depend on the teacher for the study. The private schools. Private schools give the students the betterment qualified education during COVID-19. Even though talking about the public school side, public schools are taught, the teachers get the salary, they just sit at the home, they just give the online classes, leave it. Okay, no, you don't need to talk. This is the thing. As private school students, private school teachers, they give the students that you need to learn, you need to study. So, you need to join the classes for your betterment.
Be fast and be very quick.
Respected judges, honorable moderator, and your teachers. If private schools claim to provide top quality education and promise to claim top quality education and promise scholarship development, how can they truly
Leave that line and prepare it.
if private school claim to provide
Would you like to withdraw?
Excellence truly means fostering well-rounded, capable individuals. How can such schools claim superiority when their very infrastructures undermines the holistic development they promises, like the way
Did you get the question?
Oh, well.
Can you repeat it?
Excellence truly means fostering well-rounded, capable individuals. How can such schools claim superiority when their very infrastructures undermines the holistic development they promise?
Hello. They say about infrastructure. I have said a report. Please show to the moderator. Okay, the infrastructure in Khulna, their infrastructure is very broken. Their roof, their benches, even the scientific lab is broken. And the infrastructure, they have not a boundary in their school. What is the safest? Yes. For the state education, private schools are better than public school. And their quality, private school classes is more infrastructure full, and their quality of benches, their quality of that's all.
Thank you very much. That was a good fight. Now it's time for the team Vibrant to ask questions. Sorry. The team Vanguard Voices. Alright? So from the team Vanguard Voices, Fatima Binti Zahid, Sansina Khanum, and Nabil Khan will be asking the questions with the speakers will obviously answer with full speed. Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Castro.
Now we'll start the first argument. The opponents are saying that public schools are better, but politicians, ministers, and even the opponents who are sitting here today, each of them are from private school. And we all know that. No one on earth knows what is better for a child more than their parents. And parents are the ultimate decision makers. So my question to my opponent is, if private schools are truly better, then why does politicians, ministers, and even your own parents didn't even send you to public schools?
Yes, please.
I'll take the question. Judges, I never knew attacking personally or a part of a debate's argument. The fact that you stated that the parents are the ones that decide, okay, they maybe decide, but that doesn't actually mean that the public school's quality is undermining. Just because the private schools are undermined, their quality is up to the top-notch. You cannot never ensure how the private school teachers are actually well qualified. You just nagging about they are qualified and other stuff, but we have proved they're actually selected to NTRC, BPSC examinations, and therefore other claims that you did that those teachers and other things are not absolutely ineligible. And also the fact that you say the students actually, the parents actually decide where the students will go, but does that mean that you're undermining the public schools stance? Your opinion and the fact that we're attacking other opponents is, I think, controversial to me. Our parents sent us to private school because there weren't public schools nearby. But if you actually see the overall infrastructure of Bangladesh, public schools are almost everywhere. Our parents kept us there because they were something for the sole purpose of defense, but actually not. If you actually show the whole Bangladesh report, you cannot say that all the public school students are.
But your parents sent you to private school, right? Why they know that? Why they know it? Right?
That's for the purpose of distance. And the fact that you're attacking us personally about in which institution we studied, that proves
no
that
sort of transformation in Bangladesh.
Yes, I want to do a Bengali coded word that Alpo Vida Bhayankar. That means a little learning is a dangerous thing, because all about private schools, and attacking personally doesn't prove that private schools are in fact not better, that the public schools are in fact the better, no matter the distance, no matter what you're trying to.
Alright, you may go with the next question, please.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable judges and my board opponent, today I will ask to defend the undeniable truth that private school is more private. private school is more better than public school. According to the English table to 9.4. Government is paying a huge amount of fund on public schools. 20,478 per student in 2021-22 and 21,470 in 2022 to 23. What does that mean? And what are the results? Let's see some results. According to the let's 1888, there's news that shows that 1.55% of students fail in the SSC exam 2025 and more than 72.5% of students are from public schools. Now my main question is, if public school get maxed out on fund if we are still struggling with teaching co-teaching method and Sabbir fails a huge number, whose fault it is?
I'll take the question again. Just showing AI-generated proofs and just providing a few of the charts doesn't mean that you're taking legit information. The fact that the public school students did not actually the ones that failed the most. About 134 schools in SSC examinations failed and among them 87% are private schools. That's because you're claiming and showing yes, these are fully educated. I can do this research too. That's because you're showing that the fake source news doesn't mean that you can undermine the quality of public schools. Thank you.
It sounds like there's a coalition. You're saying that public school is better? No, man. If public school is private school, they're huge of all payments. You don't answer my question. Whose fault it is? I'm asking you again. If public school get maximum amount of fund every year, still struggling with co-teaching method and there's such a high number, whose fault it is? You are not answering my question.
The fault that is the government's. And the fact that you're saying that all the kind of money is not going into the public education is absolutely a myth. But because we can all see the infrastructure, we can all see the qualified teachers, and this money goes into the teachers because there's a job security. We cannot just say that the public schools are better or not because of the infrastructure. We totally, our country has gone through a lot of stuff in the previous years, all this corruption and everything. And I think you might have not.
You must give me my answer.
I have clearly answered it, and if you didn't notice it, that's your fault, my dear.
All right. Thank you.
Good morning, respected judges, moderators, and my dedicated opponents. I pray for a bipartisan toast me. In many countries, including Bangladesh, students from private school backgrounds dominate top universities from private schools, especially in fields like medical, engineering, and business. Example, 123,000 Sharma, student of Holy Cross High School and College, stood first in the medical admission exam. Again, in 2021, Ashir Khan, a student of Buet admission exam. He is from Northern High School and College. So, as we can clearly crystal clear to us that toppers, the brilliant, all the marvelous students are from the private school background. Always remember a thing. The tallest tree is going down, the strongest sword, what is that wilderness. As per result, the brilliant are sharpened by the private school background. With better quality of education, with better care, with better discipline, not our culture and culture place like public school. So my question to my dear estimated opponent, if public school truly teach our students better for the future, then why is the most top university seats are taken in by private school students and even in the base job sector?
I would like to take the question.
As you said, who dominates the seats in medical and engineering fields are not students of private schools, are the students of public schools mainly. And we are talking about Rotterdam High School and College, which is a college, it's not a school. Again, when we are talking about successful and brilliant students, let's talk about 2025 SSC results. David Farjana is a student of public school. Again, if we talk about 2024, who's the highest in SSC, is also from public school. So, when you are talking about more brilliant and successful students are from private school, is a myth. It is not true at all. Most students who are successful are most of the time are from public schools. We can college level, not above school level. Most of the students who are
I think my opponent team has lack of information. Notre is also a school, not just college. And school is the root of the college. If you don't figure in the school, you can't in the college. And what about the admission? You can't go to admission if you don't go to school. And you are talking about like Mahfuzur, they are the past. Think about the reality. Think about the now.
scored higher in SSC 2025. It is made success in school life.
Time's out. If you are done, the meeting is Alright, this is how we end our battle here. That was an outstanding battle, I must say. Both teams will now have 1 minute to prepare themselves for their closing speech. Let's all take a minute for a deep breath again. Your time starts now. Okay. I hope you are done now. Your 1 minute has ended already. And now it's time to change the game. So good luck again to both the teams. Let's call Rabia Chaudhary from the Spirited Speakers, the leader of the Spirited Speakers, to continue with her closing speech.
Thank you so much, dear moderator. They say education is a great equalizer, but how can we say that they're providing proper education when one model is clearly excluding students just for their financial background? Proper education is not ensured by through wealth, but it is actually ensured by how you give opportunities, equal opportunities to everyone. Public schools are not just institutions in Bangladesh, they're the lifeblood of the nation. They reach the farthest point of Bangladesh, from Char to Chattogram, from Rajshahi to Rangamati, which private schools dare not to go. In public schools, students from various backgrounds and financial backgrounds study, and they stay in the same day, share the same dreams. And so that public schools promote that even if your financial background is low, or if you're a child of a farmer, a child of a rich ruler, you can still dream of being in a developed nation and ensuring a developed future. Meanwhile, let's see the private school stance. Private school often operates as illogical admission policies, arbitrary tuition hikes, and they also selling seats, corruption, coaching traps. Let's not forget the recent issue that has spiked a controversy in the entire Bangladesh. Mahmudul Preparatory School, a reputed private institution in Dhaka, has been done a controversial policy since 1997 that the student who works in nursery section must have 20 milk teeth, and they don't even admit those students who are healthy just because they label them as overweight. Dear judges, are we actually excluding the student, the talented student, just because of their physical structure? Of course not. The public schools do not do that. Anti-Corruption Commission has recently filed a major issue that 11 individuals have illegally admitted 107 individuals for illegal admissions, embezzlement, and research and result manipulation. And let's not forget about the coaching track. The recent tragedy in the Milestone School in Dhaka has shown how parents have raised their concerns about their children. Why? Because according to a news report in Jordan, they have seen that the parents actually they're thinking that how their child were treated differently just because they didn't attend the coaching. Just because they didn't attend the extra classes, the parents were forced. And according to Bangladesh Education Statistics 2023, 95.37% public schools have internet facilities. They got extracurricular, they have BNCC, Scouts, Girl Guide, Rangers, and all the other extracurriculars a student can ever dream of. While public schools are clearly providing this, many private schools actually reside in congested buildings. They can't even provide a single field. And how can they provide proper education, proper mental development to their students? It is such an unfortunate thing to say. And as per my opponent just showing AI generative reports that when you are opposition of this, it's like throwing the axe at yourself. The school have more facilities and extracurricular activities, and that can be clearly shown in national and international level competitions where public schools rise always and forever. The public schools teach children to rise in poverty, rise above discrimination, and rise above the nation. So therefore, as my team firmly stands in proposition that public schools are in fact better than the private ones. Thank you.
That was an amazing closing. I would like to call Fahim, the leader of Team Vanguard Voices, to complete this closing session.
My respected judges and moderators, I will draw the curtain of blindness that no one dares to reveal as a riddle. Public school promises the light, but bring only shadows. Private school guide the futures, holding every tomorrow. Public school write the words, but ease every meaning. Private school will write the future that the worlds keep reading. My respected judges, this riddle means that private school often promises us the light, but those light lose in the darkness when the failing structure and the disobedience of the students when they don't hear to students. And why they don't hear to students? Because of the absent teachers. And my respected judges, as I repeated, that the public school write only words, but those will lose its meaning through absent teachers, corruptions, and those neglected that is happening to the corrupted areas. What is the corrupted area? The public school. I'm not mentioning that the government is pulling all the funds, all the massive funds in there, but where the money is going? Where the money is going down? Where is the money? We can't see the development. We can't see the previous. We can't see. The past isn't developed. The future isn't developed either. We can see, and that's the proof. As my opponents have mentioned, that we have the AI generated pictures. Well, really, all the pictures and all the news report articles are corrected from News Age, Daily Sun, and Sumaiya TV. But all they are encrypted, and as I can show you the proof. You can all encrypt it in your social media and see that they are the proof, they are the right, and we are not the AI generated answer. We always correct the proof, we always correct the answer. We never define what is the fake. As fake goes on, the corruption for public school life. My respected judges, today you are here as a judges, but you are all our teacher, right? You are all in a teacher. You guys are the mentor. You guys are the guides and the guidelines of our values. We all know that we all know. Now today, at that moment, I want you to think like a parent, a teacher. Would you send your child or student to a place where vanities is denied, where virtues are invisible, like they are never existed? Would you send your child to some places where the teachers are absent, where your child can just run into any corruption, any illegal stuff without even knowing your interruption? The parents will inform you, the teachers will inform you that what are your children are doing. As if your child get absent in school, the teachers won't even inform you that miss your children is absent from the school. Would they mention no? But in private school, the teachers are really secure. If they even run a class, if they even bunk a class, they would directly inform their parents, call to the parents, and go to the principal office for justice. And that is the reliance, that is the trust where parents goes for and parents ask for. As I told you all, that I need you to think as parents, and definitely you want something secure for your daughter or your son. Definitely. And definitely I will mention something really well secured. In a public school, we can see the corruption lies over it. The public school are not just showing that they are having the individual report and the shows. No, in the private school, teachers are giving the individual effort, individual resources to make each of the students good step by step towards the future. Learning them, teaching them that they are good, they are virtuous, and they are capable to face what the reality of Bangladesh is. We are not talking about the foreign. We are not talking about the foreign, my audience, and as my judges. We are talking about Bangladesh. As Bangladesh, we know, has really lagged behind. As you see, so for the sake of reality, for the sake of guidance, for the sake of keeping our reality, we know, and we protect our children, to protect our generation, private schools are better than public schools. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Fantastic. The spirited speakers and the voices of the Vanguard boys, you did a fantastic job. It was really outstanding, I must say. So this is how I would like to end the competition here. Let us give some moment to count the numbers, and then we will be announcing the finalists of the final part. Thank you very much again.